So he's back in his new favourite spot, which is kind of just in front of the heater, that I don't think you can actually see. But I thought, while I was on, that I would tell you a little bit about my adventure, because I know that I've spoken about getting Trey, and I've spoken about him coming here and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think we've actually spoken about the reasons as to why I got a dog and kind of that whole process. This literally happened within a couple of weeks. I mean, I'd been thinking for a while, like, oh my God, I would love to have a dog. And, you know, when I, used the time to look into getting a dog and all that kind of stuff, I was mainly researching kind of like how much it is to own a dog these days. You know, how much is it to feed them? What kind of food would they take? And, all the treats and the vet bills and the insurance and everything like that. And it's like, well, how much is it to actually own a dog? And then, I'd gone to the websites and look at all these dogs that are available, and I'd just think, oh my God, they're so cute, and I really, really want one. But that's as far as it ever got. And then my brother got in touch and said that one of his friends was having to get rid of both of their dogs, and sent me these pictures. And I got back in touch, and I said, well, how much are they? And he said they're free. She just wants to make sure that they go off to good homes, and, explained kind of their circumstances as to why they couldn't actually have dogs anymore. Now, I didn't actually agree to having Trey until I think it was probably the night after I first got asked. I said that, I needed time to think about this and, all that kind of stuff. But one of the things that I did have to think of straight away was that, she was getting rid of 2 dogs, and I live in a 1-bedroom flat. There is no way that I would have been able to keep both dogs, because there wouldn't have been kind of the room for them here. So I was like, well, I'll only be able to take 1 dog, and of course my brother was like, well, that's fine, that's kind of what we expected anyway. And then I was thinking about it for the night, and it is a lot to consider, whether you, not only on the financial side of things, but am I capable of actually looking after a dog full time? I have my brother's dog stay over occasionally, and that's fine. I can cope with that, because I know that if anything happens, my brother is here, and he'll deal with it, kind of thing. And at the end of the day, she gets to go back to him. So there was a lot to take in that night, and I got back in touch with him the night after, and I said, right, okay, yeah, I'll do it. And he'd said to me that he'd already spoken about it with my mother, and that she'd said that she wanted the male dog because he was really cute. And I was like, well, yeah, I think that's the one I'm actually going to have. And Trey was free as well. Didn't actually pay anything for him. The woman just wanted to make sure that they went off to good homes. She wasn't she wasn't doing it for like financial gain or anything like that. So then, of course, we came to actually getting Trey to mine. I'd, of course, seen the pictures that my brother had sent me, and seen Trey on them, and thought, he's a really cute dog, and, he'd be great and everything like that, but I don't drive, so how's he going to get here, kind of thing. And my brother said, well, I can arrange it with her, and, sort out times and everything like that. And I think it was almost 2 weeks later that we managed to arrange a time, and it was going to be on a Thursday. And my brother was going to come and get me in the morning. About dinner time, we would then go and get Trey from where he was living, and then we would go down to see my nan with Tilly, who's my brother's dog, and we would spend the afternoon at my nana's, then come back, and Trey would be here. So on the Thursday, my brother rang me and I'd been out in the morning, and I was actually walking back home, and my brother texted me and he said, "Are you going to be in half an hour?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Right, okay, I'm coming early." So I'm like, "All right, okay, well, fair enough. I wasn't expecting him till about 1 or something like that, but whatever." I get a text off my brother saying, "I'm here, come downstairs." So I'm like, right, okay, so I got my coat on, got my bag ready, everything like that. And I was a little bit nervous, because at the end of the day, I'm taking in a dog, so it's kind of a nerve-breaking thing, really. And I remember seeing my brother pulling into the car park, and he wasn't alone. Trey was with him, and Trey was very, very excited at this point. Like, he was bouncing all over the inside of his car. He was panting away. He was just really on one because, he was meeting new people. He was going to new places. He loves traveling in the car. And yeah, he just seemed adorable. So he came out the car, and my brother came in, and we came up to the flat and everything like that. And I at first, and this will probably sound quite strange to a few people, but I actually didn't take to Trey at first. It kind of took me a little bit of a while to get into, what he was like, figure out his personality, that kind of thing. He literally spent all the time that my brother was here just literally running around the flat. He was panting away, and yeah, he was manic that day. I had to bath him because he had a bit of a, the dog smell. It's not great. He smells of dog. So he had to get a bath at that point. But he let me put him in the bath and wash him down, and then we got him out the bath, and he eventually, started to settle in a little bit. Needless to say, on Thursday, we didn't go down and see my nana because, it was a lot for Trey to take in. And obviously, Trey was leaving his family home. We had to give him a little bit of space and let him get into his routine and all that kind of thing. And it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of took a little bit of a while for him to get settled in. The first week, he seemed to really kind of settle in a little bit. He'd jump up on the couch next to me and cuddle up next to me and all that kind of stuff. He never really seemed to miss his family as such. I know that sounds like a terrible thing, but it really doesn't seem like he did. What I did for the first week and a bit was literally just walk him around the outside of the flat. Because I wanted him to know where he was living. I wanted him to put his smell around here and kind of know what everything looks like around here. So if he ever did run away, at least he knows where he lives. He can come back to this area and be like, I recognise this area, I've been here before. And yeah, so that's what we did. And then eventually we found this field that's near mine, literally about a minute's walk away. And he loves going on the field, my God. And yeah, he seems to still be settling in. I'm still trying to train him on stuff like doing tricks and walking on the lead, and because there's a lot that he's got to learn. But he's doing really well, and he's taken to life here really well. And I think he likes it, actually. I don't know why, but I think he does. Kind of the pair of us get on really well. And I know that sounds really strange for people who are watching who aren't into dogs and everything like that, but it's true. He's got his own little personality, and he's just the most gentlest creature that you could ever want to meet. He's not very affectionate, which I'm used to Tilly being really affectionate. You can ask her for a kiss and she'll lick your nose, and if you try and kiss Trey, he will move away. And he doesn't really cuddle up to you that much. In fact, I think it's only in the past week or so that I've kind of let him know it's all right to jump up on the bed if he wants to. But yeah, I'll wake up first thing in the morning, and you probably can't see it, but kind of just down there, that's where his bed is in the room. And then of a morning, he'll jump up on here when I'm awake, and he'll come over and sniff my face and make sure that I'm awake and everything like that. He's not quite trained on bringing me kind of breakfast in bed yet. We are working on that. That's a work in progress. But But yeah, he's got his own little ways of doing things. So to finish off on this, a lot of people have asked me, and I know that a lot of people will have watched the videos and be thinking exactly the same thing, you know, like kind of why did you get a dog and how has it been and that kind of thing. Well, I hope that that's kind of explained it to you. The only thing that I can say, and this is something I've said for years, is that if you are going to get a dog yourself, just make sure that you are ready for it. You know, dogs can be a tie-down in certain ways, and they can literally be lifesavers as well, and in many ways other people wouldn't think about. They, certainly in my respect with Trey and that kind of thing, he's literally changed the way that I live, you know. There was times when I've been known to literally spend 3 days in the flat and not go outside once. And now I can't do that. I have to go out every day with him. So yeah, you know, he's changed my life for the better. And, you know, I think a lot of people don't really kind of appreciate the work that has to go into owning a dog. It's one of the most rewarding things, but it is quite hard work at some times. So yeah, just really think about it. But in my case, it looks like it's been kind of a positive thing to happen in my life.